Hello YouTube, this is Asatsu5. This video is going to be about when life hits you all at once. It's probably going to be a little bit long video, and I'm going to try not to say so my words will not flow as easily as if I was saying is a crutch word, a filler word, and I'm trying to break myself for that habit. So if I pause, it's because I'm trying not to say But this is about when life hits you all at once. Some of this stuff's been going on for several months, but a lot of it happened within a couple weeks. And I said it. There's going to be a point to the video at the end that I think is a valuable lesson. But this is going to be about what's been happening in my life and how it's just been very frustrating. And start off, I suffer from depression. It's something I'm going to deal with forever, my rest of my life. It's a thing that's going to be a part of my life on a regular basis. Antidepressants don't cure depression, they allow you to get out of the bed and do stuff. Instead of hating life, you just don't care for life. It sucks. You have good days, you have not so good days, and then sometimes you have bad days. But you don't have like DEFCON 5 days like you do if you're not on um, antidepressants. But I suffer from depression. That's something that is always on my mind. You know, not the fact that I suffer from depression, but the effects of suffering from depression is something that bothers me a lot. Also, I've already filmed this video several times. I'm trying to shorten it and make it more compact. Also, not only do I suffer from depression, but a classmate of mine died, and we don't know how he died. So that's on my mind. And I'm not sniffing because I'm crying. I'm sick. That's the third thing that's happening. I found out yesterday that I have 101.3 fever and some sinus issues. No, I found out. Yeah, I think it was yesterday I found that out. So I had that happen. I had my car break down, my Jeep broke down, and I took it to a mechanic's shop, and it cost me a whopping 800 something dollars to fix, which I'm not a car person. I appreciate that my car is four-wheel drive and has a nice radio. It's my beach machine. I love it, but I'm not a car person. I don't enjoy spending money on my vehicle. So that's four things, around $800 of that. I've been having it. I've had a bad history with medical institutions, and so more on that later. So, classmate died, uh, depression, found out I was sick, car repairs. Uh, my CPAP provider has been very frustrating because they've been giving me the same bill from August over and over again, and I've been paying it, but they haven't been uh, putting that money I've been giving to them towards my bill. So I keep on getting the same August bill, and I just wasn't paying attention. I got the bill. I was like, oh, I need to pay this. And I've been getting less equipment, but they've been charging me for all the equipment that I've been getting in August. This has been an ongoing thing. And uh, I've noticed that I overpaid this bill, paid it several times over. I contacted them. I told them the situation. They said, all right, we owe you X amount of money. We'll get this taken care of. They gave me a refund. I spent that money because I had plans for it. Uh, and then I got that bill again. And I was like, well, this sucks. So I called them up and they said, yeah, we refunded you all your money. And so you now owe us the original bill amount that we charged you for, that you paid over and over again. I was like, what the heck? Why would y'all do that? I wanted the money that I overpaid. I didn't want the money for the bill that I owed you. Why would I ask for money that I owed you just so I'd have to give it right back? And I said it again. And so that was been very frustrating, and I'm still dealing with that. Uh, that's the last August bill, and it's now July of 19, August of 18 to July of 19, and still dealing with that. So I have a distrust of the medical institutions and businesses. There's some other reasons why I do too, but um, that's the most recent thing up until now. And so look, let's recap. I've tried to film this video several times, so I don't know if I'm repeating myself as far as the stories. But classmate died, depression, found out I'm sick, car repairs, dealing with uh, what you call it, the billing mistake that American Home Patient's been doing, and then uh, um, it was either it was it was it was Thursday. Um, so yeah, it was Thursday. I get a no. Uh, I got my haircut Wednesday, but Thursday I get a phone call while I'm at work from my brother saying that my mom's in intense pain in her liver. She has liver problems, among other things, and that she's in intense pain, and I need to get home quickly and be with her. She doesn't want to go to the local emergency room because, well, frankly, we don't trust them. And she has a doctor in Houston, a specialist, and she had an appointment in Houston the next day, but uh, she already called her specialist doctor, and if the specialist doctor returned her call and told her she needed medical intervention, she would have just went to Houston. But she already had an appointment uh, the next day in Houston, so she didn't really want to go to the doctor unless she absolutely had to. But she was in intense pain. She was crying. She was emotional, and so I had to deal with that. And I'm not upset that I had to help my mom at all. It's just that's more stress on me, and I'm more than happy to, be with my mom and make sure that she's okay. Uh, my stepdad was out of town and he came home, but it was taking him a few hours. So I left work to be with her to make sure that nothing even worse happened. Like make sure she didn't fall out and I need to call 911. Uh, and then, for whatever reason, during this whole thing, she got over her pain. And the next day she went to her doctor's appointment, but she felt me and she said, "You feel kind of warm." I put that on the back burner. I was like, "Yeah, I have some sinus issues." But I just put the being warm thing out on the uh, back burner, and I went and got my haircut. And I'm going to come back to that haircut at the end of the video. But I got a haircut. So, that I have depression, death of a classmate, uh, car repairs, the American Home Patient billing fiasco, my mom being in extreme pain and having medical issues with her liver, and what else? Anywho, what happened to? Oh yeah, and I'm sick. I found out I had that's 6 things. I found out I had after my haircut. I went home and I started thinking to myself, well, I probably need to take my temperature. I don't feel well. I need to investigate. I found out I had 101.3 fever. So that sucks. So that's just more bad news. Anyways, I got a fun little surprise today. I got a bill from a creditor that for my EMS or my ambulance ride that I took when I got in my bad wreck in 2017, and I think it was 2017, and for whatever reason, the ambulance ride didn't get sent to my insurance. It was never paid, and they only sent one bill. And if they would have did something reasonable and sent another bill, it might have jogged my memory. Like, hey, you need to do this. This bill hasn't been paid yet. But no, they sent one bill. That bill, for whatever reason, nothing happened with it. And then they sent it to a creditor. So with interest, it's about $600 something dollars. That's not money I was planning on spending, and nor do I want to spend, but I might have to. Could have all been avoided if they sent another bill. American Home Patient. They say my bill that I haven't paid, that I have actually paid over and over again. They said it was over 120 days past due. They still send me bills. So, it's something that reminds me, hey, this issue hasn't been solved yet. The ambulance company sent me one bill, didn't follow up on it when I didn't get paid in a reasonable time, and then sent it directly to a creditor. So that really ticked me off. So I was very harsh with the credit company. I called them up. I was like, hey, we need to get this fixed. I wasn't tactful. I was not tactful at all. I was very straightforward and demanding. And they told me to call my insurance company, and I called my insurance company, and this is where things start turning up a little bit. I was in a bad mood because of all this happening, all this stuff happening. The American Home Patient thing's been happening for a while. The depression thing's an ongoing thing, but all the other stuff just happened within a couple of weeks. So I was upset, and I called my insurance company, and I was frustrated with the automated things. So I just pressed 0 to get operator. They put me on hold for a little bit, and hold music sucked. And they finally answer, and they're like, "This is Geico Military Insurance. How can I help you?" I said, "Why am I getting the Geico Military Insurance adjuster or whatever? I just pressed 0 to get the operator." He's like, "I don't know." I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I'll try again." He goes, "No." He says, "If it has to do with vehicles, I can help you." By him saying that, my mood just changed, and I was very I was comforted. I was at ease for a little bit, and I was like, man, I really like this guy. This guy, is supposed to be helping military veterans and active service people. And he's just like, no, if it has to do with vehicles, I'm here to help you. And we haven't fixed the situation yet, but I'm confident that it will be fixed. I don't know if I'm going to have to pay that bill or not, but and he transferred me to someone who gave my case to my old caseworker that I had when I had my wreck, and I like that adjuster. So I'm positive that something will happen. But that really helped me out, or that really made me feel good when he just said, "No, it doesn't matter if you're military or not. I'm here to help you," and that helped me out a lot. Also, all this stuff happening, death of a classmate, being sick, depression, auto repairs, medical expenses and fiascos. A lot of stuff, and my mom having medical issues, a lot of stuff happening in a short amount of time. And just to set the stage, I'm going to talk about my haircut yesterday. Actually, I'm going to tell you 2 haircut stories. And the girl that I get my haircut from, I went to school with her. I only had 2 classes with her, but within those 2 classes, we gained a mutual respect and appreciation for each other. I didn't have a lot of classes with her. I really didn't hang out with her outside of class. But, we appreciated each other. We were usually put on the same study team when we did study games or group work. And so, I was comfortable with her. For those of you who don't know, meeting new people is very scary for me. It's not something I enjoy. I crave attention from people, but I am fearful of meeting new people, talking to strangers. And I said, and can't breathe from the nose. So that's why when I graduated from high school and I decided I need someone to cut my hair, I heard that this classmate was going to cosmetology school, so I was like, you know what? I want to support classmates, and I want a friendly, familiar face. And so I started using her, and I still use her today for haircuts, obviously. Uh, and like I said, I suffer from depression. I don't complain a lot. At least, I don't think I complain a lot. There's really four people that I share with, that I trust. And then I have y'all guys, or you guys. And I share negativity with these two different groups of people, these group of friends, and y'all, for different reasons. The small group of friends that I have my twin, who's my twin, and I have a lot of respect for and love. I have my brother from a Latina mother, Daniel. You've seen him in my YouTube videos. Uh, uh, I refer to him as the Native American guide from the tribe of Mexico. Uh, I look at him as kin. He is not my twin, but he is a brother. And, you know, we talk and hang out on a pretty regular basis. We go to the coast, we scuba dive, you know, we meet up like at Buffalo Wild Wings and stuff. He is as close to a brother without actually being a brother. But he's not my twin. I have different feelings for the two. Then I have my hairstylist, which I don't share as much with her, but sometimes she is therapy. And then I have another female friend that I occasionally share with. And I don't share a lot with her uh, because, you know, she moved off, and I'm not going to message someone on social media and type out a paragraph of, you know, the day that I'm having. You know, we have positive interactions over social media, but occasionally I do share with her. Uh, so I have like four people that I trust and share with. I really don't share with my parents that much, and there's a few reasons for that. I do love them and I do trust them, but I don't share with them on a very regular basis because, you know, they're in a constant state of worry for me because they know I suffer from depression. And, you know, they raised me and they know I suffered a lot, and because I suffer, they suffer. So I try not to stress them out any more than they have to. But, so I don't really share with my parents. I really don't complain a lot to my coworkers. Uh, I really try not to complain. I don't like complaining. And I share with y'all for a completely different reason. One, I want to help people. So if I can help you or someone else, I try to do that. But also, y'all are faceless. There's very few of you that I know y'all's face. Uh, the I can do. I'm scared of people in small groups or in individual situations, but I have the opposite of stage fright. I can give speeches. I can act in one act play. I can teach at a podium. Sometimes, you know, I can lecture a little bit. But what y'all and public speaking have in common is that y'all are faceless. The audience, when I'm speaking publicly, is faceless. I barely realize that there's an audience. Y'all are faceless. I don't have to look you in the face when I talk. I'm basically talking to myself, which is easy, and then I upload the video, and then y'all do whatever y'all do, depending on what viewers, you know, you might like, thumbs up, thumbs down, call me stupid, give me motivation, say forced, you know, fake, whatever. Y'all do whatever y'all do as viewers, but before y'all see the video, I'm just talking to myself. Y'all are faceless. So I can share with you without actually having to trust you, because I really don't realize you are there until the video is uploaded, if that makes any sense. Anywho, before I found out I was sick, uh, I was in a bad mood. I don't want to say I was in a bad mood because I wasn't grumpy. I wasn't grumpy at all. I try not to project my frustration, anger, uh, or disgust onto other people. But the day of my haircut, I was in a negative mood. I was not happy with myself. And to tell a quick story that will segue into this next story, which I think is more important, like I said, depression sucks. And antidepressants are not a cure, they're an addiction, and all they do is get you out of bed. They don't make life awesome, they allow you to appreciate a sunset, but they don't fix your problems. And sometimes with depression, you can function, you're a functioning person with depression, and sometimes the depression is so bad you can't function. And one time with this classmate that is my hairstylist, I was not in a functioning scenario. I had a hair appointment. I was pretty much forced to go to it because I couldn't cancel, and I needed a haircut. But I was not looking forward to the haircut because I was in a negative mood, and I sat down in that chair and I looked directly into the mirror, and I gave yes and no answer. She's like, same thing, whatever. I was like, yes. Want me to leave it a little bit longer on top? No. And I gave her just yes and no questions or answers. I was not friendly at all, and I think she could tell that something was off. And she washed my hair. She said, "Do you want gel? Because pour gelling my hair is free if I'm up there, and if I go out to eat after my haircut, my hair looks styled." And I said no. I paid her and I left. And then I just felt terrible. I felt horrible. I felt like scum of the earth because I let my bad day possibly affect her day. So when I got home, I messaged her. I was like, "Hey, I'm having a bad day. I'm sorry if I came across rude. I did not want to do that. I was just I'm having a bad day." She was like, "No, it's fine. It's fine. You didn't offend me at all." And so that was an example of me not being functionable. I think it was yesterday, before I found out I was sick, I was feeling bad as far as medical stuff, but I was having a negative day. I was not pleased with myself, and I was dwelling on some things. A lot of stuff happening at once, along with, the normal things. And, we had a conversation. We started talking about Disney, and I'm going to try to speed up now because this video's long. We talked about Ariel being black, and then, which, I could talk about that in a separate video, but we came to the conclusion that it's not a remake if they don't stay true to the original story. But it doesn't bother us that she's black. It's just not the Ariel that we grew up with. But we don't have a problem with her being black. It's just that that's a Norwegian story. You would expect Europeans in the video or in the movie, just like in Mulan, that it takes place in China. You would expect Chinese people to be in the movie, which they are doing Mulan like that. But anyways, we talked about that, and then we started talking about Anastasia, and she always compliments how I just have a wealth of knowledge that is interesting. I know interesting things, and I told her, I said, yes, I can't do math, but I can tell you the gun that was used to kill the last Tsar of Russia, and this sparked something. She said, yeah, I've been watching a documentary on the last Tsar of Russia. I said, oh yeah, Tsar Nicholas. And I started giving her some facts about Nicholas, Anastasia. I forget his son's name. I started talking about Rasputin, which Rasputin is a very interesting guy. I won't go into details, but he is a weird, creepy, very sexual guy, and that's going to play a part here. And so we started talking, and I was amazed that she knew as much stuff as I knew about this subject, which is weird because, I didn't expect her to know this stuff. And so, anyways, she said, I've been watching a documentary on the last Tsar of Russia, and it has an interesting quirk. She said it has historians that talk about it and then they dramatize it. They have people that act out the characters. And she said it's basically softcore porn. She said because of Rasputin and some other things, there was some orgy scenes and sex scenes, and she's like, I was very shocked that this was in here, and it got me worried about my son. She has a little boy. She's like, my son could just happen upon this. She said, I like the information, but this graphic stuff in here was it surprised me. And I was like, yeah, that is weird. And so I watched a little bit of it, and I messaged her back. I was like, yeah, that is weird. I bet you if they showed this documentary in world history class in high school, people would pay attention. She's like, yeah, the information's good, but I guess they didn't want to miss out on any of the details. And so we laughed about that. But anyways, I was in a negative mood. I was functionable. I can function, but I was in a negative mood, fixated on myself, analyzing myself. Depressed people analyze themselves and talk and think about how terrible they are compared to everybody else. And I was kind of in that mood, and her being very friendly and talking to me about a subject that I'm very interested in, military history, and the fact, and I like fairy tale history and the original fairy tales, and that interaction we had where she knew as much as I knew on Tsar Nicholas and Tsarina Alexandria and Rasputin and stuff. It just put me in a good mood. Not only is she usually amazed at my knowledge, but she actually can she can actually talk to me on my level on this subject, and which I enjoy our conversations anyways. But this one conversation was just amazing to me because not only am I like telling her these facts and stuff, she is on the same level as me. And she was super friendly. It was funny, and we laughed about it, and it put me in a good mood. So the whole point of this video, I'm going to try to wrap up, is if someone's having a bad day, you can tell they're having a bad day, and maybe they're a little bit quiet, or maybe they're a little bit short with you, or maybe they are just downcast. You can tell by their posture and demeanor that they're downcast. Saying something as simple as, don't worry if you're military or not, if it has to do with a vehicle, I'm here to help you. Just saying I'm here to help you. Or just saying something goofy like, yeah, there was this documentary about Tsar Nicholas. Very good information, but is very graphic. And engaging someone on a subject that they were interested in, not necessarily the graphic sex stuff, but the history of the start of socialism in Russia, and World War One and stuff. So just interacting with people can put them in a good mood. Now, I'll say this: sometimes friends and family can't pull you from the darkness. You have to you have to live for the shimmers of light from the coming storm. The shimmers of light being lightning. It might get dark, it might get gloomy, but there will be light. There will be lightning there to illuminate your world, and you can really appreciate that. And sometimes you'll have very good days, but on those bad days, you just have to look for the lightning to illuminate your life. And so that's it. That's the video. I tried to compress this in a short video. We're getting to get 30 minutes. You have the power to turn someone's upside down world and make it right side up for a brief amount of time. And I think that's very important that you know that you can do that. Uh, so I hope this video wasn't too preachy. I hope it wasn't too negative for you. I hope it wasn't, a buzzkill. But I've had a lot of stuff happen, especially within these 2 weeks, but over a long span of time with the other stuff, depression and financial things and stuff. But you have the ability to be the lightning that illuminates someone's dark, gloomy world, even if it's for a brief amount of time. And, so that's it. I'm a Satsu5. Thank you for watching. I'm out.